Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary specimens, your ceremony master has arrived. Yes, it's me, Victoria Winters, back with another reaction video. Just like last time, we are reacting to, well, I mean, it's probably the last time. I don't know what order I'm going to be uploading these in, but we're reacting to another League of Legends cinematic. This time, we are reacting to Twilight's End, one of my absolute favorite games when it comes to lore. League of Legends, such beautiful lore. And we've gotten so much lore this year. Oh my god, so much lore. I am loving all of the lore we're getting. Riot, I don't know who has gotten what little bug up your little tush, but I am not complaining. Keep giving us lore. So much juicy lore. We're doing a lot of lore in Iona. Please let me see Evelyn. Let me see Ari. Okay, everybody loves Ari, but I'm a Fox girl. I have to love Ari. It's kind of, a requirement. But I want to see Evelyn. I want Evelyn. We need some good, juicy Evelyn lore. I want to see Evelyn rendered in Fortitia's art style. But for those of you who don't know, Fortiche is an absolutely amazing studio that made Arcane and has been like this, becoming the go-to for Riot for a lot of their cinematics throughout this whole year. Like, I think all but like one of their cinematics have been made by Fortiche, including this one that we're about to watch. So this is a proper video. This is like 4 minutes long. So I'm excited to get into this one. Where we left off last time, Xin Zhao got a wonderful vision, thanks to probably LeBlanc, trying to spur him into going and dealing with the Darken. She wants him to be a host. Now, the last video teased that maybe Arcane, a demon, is taking a Darken weapon, which, as Necrit said, is an abomination. No. That's no. I think that was just a delusion created by LeBlanc to get Xin Zhao to grab this weapon. She wants him as the host. So the question is, who is going to be the new host of this Darken? We know we're getting a Darken as a champion. There's champion teasers for him already. But who is the sacrificial body? Don't know. It's looking like it will be Xin Zhao, which means the character of Xin Zhao is dead. I mean, he's not really technically dead, but for all intents and purposes, he's dead. Generally, when you become a Darken, you don't come back. Done? Because the only way to get rid of the Darken is to murder you. Bad idea. You ain't coming back from that. So, without too much further ado, let's get into watching this new video. And I am excited to see what we have in store. Come on, Riot. Give us something good.
You do not belong here, Seneschal. Mortals should not meddle with the power of gods.
Is that what you are? Gods?
I am not your answer.
Oh.
Only evil deferred.
Evil does not relinquish power.
There's my girl. There's LeBlanc. So here's the thing. Is that really LeBlanc? Or is it one of her clones? Like, even the clones don't know they're LeBlanc. Or if they're a clone. They think they're the LeBlanc. So, for all we know, LeBlanc is dead. And every one of them that's in existence is just another one of her shadow clones. Oh. Okay, Arcane with a Darken weapon, this is terrifying.
You must have known you could not hide forever.
No one returns from beyond the veil.
seen beyond the veil. Watched as the spirit of the First Lands roared to life. Only to see it all burned away in an instant.
Oh my god, like that was so intense. I just couldn't do anything but sit here and just. Oh my god, like okay, Arcane is just terrifying. Like, I mean, he's one of the greater demons. Well, I don't know if he's one of the greater demons. He is a demon, but man, he was holding them. And then LeBlanc coming in with her freaking her chains. Woohoo! Oh god.
Yunara has fallen, and the temple's defenses are destroyed. There is no one left. Your power will darken the world, with or without your permission.
You know not what you ask.
I know exactly what I ask. You've sacrificed everything to save this world once. Let me do the same. I cannot hold him.
Okay, I have to pause for a second. So, this Darkin that he's talking to, it's so strange seeing a Darkin with like a human appearance. So like the Darkin, they were originally humans that were transformed into what's called the God Warriors in Shurima. And they became these super powerful creatures. And they fought against the Void itself. Eventually, they became corrupted by the Void. And then, after the death of the ruler of Shurima, they went insane and became these monstrous forms. So, I've never seen a Darkin in human form. They've always been these monsters. And here's a Darkin with that human form. Probably because, as Necrit said, because of the whole spirit realm thing, which is a part of the whole Ionian lore. And it seems like this particular Darkin isn't as warped as his brethren. He might have actually been. This might be more of like one of the God War who stayed more like one of the God Warriors and wasn't as corrupted as the others, because he left Shurima before he became fully corrupted by the Void. This is Sin Zhao pretty much dying and taking by the Darkin. Definitely not LeBlanc. I like the little firefly man. I was literally about to stop the video when that popped up. I totally didn't think there was going to be an after credit. I should have freaking known.
Even demons can be undone.
Did Arcane die? Like, legitimately? Oh, that changes things. Oh, that changes things big in the friggin' in Runeterra. Oh! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, so I expected Xin Zhao would take the Darkened Weapon. I didn't expect Arcane to actually die. Like, oh my gosh, like, holy crap. Oh, I can't wait to see what Necrit has to say about this. That is crazy. That's freaking crazy. Holy Hannahs. Okay, so let's watch Necrit's video. Hey, look right here. It's right there. Let's watch Necrit's breakdown on this. Oh, he's gonna have things to say. Oh, he's gonna have some things to say.
Hey Fortiche, would you like to stop killing champions for once? Oh yes, hello.
He's not wrong. See, Fortiche is killed. Let's see. Heimendinger, Victor, Jace, let's see, who else? Oh my god. Mel's mom, Medarta, I can't remember her freaking first name. It now just killed, oh my gosh. Xin Zhao. Morticia's killed a lot of champions over the last, like, couple of years. And kinda maybe killed Jinx? Not 100% sure on that. I'm still convinced Jinx survived. Because Jinx and, Demacian chick. Oh god, what's her stupid name? Lux. Oh, Lux. I freaking hate fighting Lux. But yeah, Jinx and Lux are like besties, and we haven't gotten to see that besties thing yet. And in some of the alternate timelines, they're roommates, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so yeah.
Necrit reporting in from China. If you'd like to see what the trip looks like, it kind of looks like this. This is the experience. Now, of course, we are here for Worlds, but in the middle of this, right...
Yeah, screw you. Screw you. You can go there and watch Worlds. I'm stuck here, having to actually work.
Decided to drop a cinematic, which makes sense, it is lining up with the Worlds, but we got to see it 2 hours before everyone else in a
Again, screw you, Necrit.
preview. Of course, to avoid
With all love.
leaks, which leaks didn't happen, right? Nobody was able to record the screen, but I was able to record my reaction. Now, since most of the reaction is just me watching the fight, it's not that crazy, but the reaction to the one key moment of the cinematic. So, before we dive into the lore, which means that yes, I am on my hotel doing a lore breakdown, I do also want to quickly show you the reaction, so here we go! Also want to quickly show you the reaction, so here we go! Damn! Okay, that's cool.
Alright, can we just talk about this guy right here? He's got that, like, secret agent look, the sunglasses on, he's just... You tried to record the video, I will. It's so weird seeing a LeBlanc clone just get taken out like that. Because as far as I know, the LeBlanc clones are just as strong as the actual LeBlanc. The look on his face, that dude's like, here goes from serious.
You know what? That's pretty cool. What? God damn, okay, that's cool. Handsome sweetheart. Look, he's really handsome. Yeah, he's dead. I mean, yeah. So Xinjiao's dead. They killed Xinjiao. He picked up the spear. Zahen took over him. Xinjiao's gone. We just killed him. But Xinjiao still has a story to go, so LeBlanc is gonna copy him and fake Xinjiao. And that was the reaction.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that! Because LeBlanc has the ability to make, clones, obviously, of herself. But she also has the ability to create, to take on someone else's visage. So what she tends to do is she makes these clones of herself and sends them out throughout the whole world, and then they make themselves look like other people so they can spy and manipulate. We watched Xin Zhao die, right? He's so right. LeBlanc would 100% just replace Xin Zhao and use him as one of her new puppets. Oh, how did I not see that?
And so now, because a lot of people got confused by the cinematic, you didn't follow the lore, I guess, let's talk about what actually happened. So, the cinematic begins in the Trials of Twilight. This is the place where Xinjiao and Yunara jumped into at the end of their comic. Now, to be specific, the cinematic begins...
Yeah, at the point I'm recording this, I have not read that comic. That's coming soon. Probably next week.
...with the end of this cinematic. Fortiche did this so that they can play you the conversation as the action is happening. So throughout the entire cinematic, Zahen and Xinjiao are talking to each other from the end. And so of course it starts with Zahen saying that Xinjiao doesn't belong here. And that is because, as you'll see later, we are inside the glaive. But more importantly, there is a really key line to focus on. Zahen says that mortals should not meddle with the power of the gods. Of course, this confused Xinjiao a little bit, and he asked if he is actually a god. And Zahen answered in the best way. He said that he is not his answer. And that is because Zahen or any of the Darkin are not gods. However, they became the Darkin after they got twisted from being ascended, with the ascended being mortals transformed with the power of the Sun Disk. With the Sun Disk getting its power from the Celestials. So technically, it was the Ascended, or in other words, Zahen, who meddled with the power of the gods. And he was just telling Xinjiao, don't do that. But after this, we can see that Xinjiao and Yunara...
He's like, trust me, buddy. You don't want to do that. It's bad for you. It's bad for you. You don't want to do that.
past the Trial of Twilight, which again, you can see that in the comic before, which leads them into the Temple of Twilight. This is the place where Zahen was originally banished. That is after he was put inside his glaive. And in this shot, you can see that Arcane already grabbed Zahen's glaive, with Zahen once again being banished inside it. Now, around this time is when Zahen also mentioned that he is not a god. He is just evil deferred. Or in other words, he was a soon-to-be Darkin that was banished to prevent himself from destroying the world. Which is when LeBlanc pops on the screen, and it is obvious that she has been behind all of this the entire time. And that's when...
The fact that LeBlanc shows her face is really surprising.
Xinjiao and Yunara start their big fight with Arcane. Now, during this fight, we do get a lot of different lore drops. For example, during the conversation between Xinjiao and Zahen, they mentioned that Zahen must have known that he would not be sealed forever. But he replied that no one returns from beyond the veil. By this, he is referencing the spirit realm. And should nobody interfere, he would just stay locked in there. But Xinjiao mentions he has seen beyond the veil, by which I assume he is referencing the trial. as well as Ionians using spiritual magic to speed up life. But since this conversation is technically happening in the future, he could also be talking about what just happened here with Atakan, because he talks about how he has seen the spirit of Ionia awaken and then it being snuffed out, which would likely reference Atakan. But during this conversation, as our heroes are successful in fighting Atakan, LeBlanc steps in. And you can immediately see how the petricite of Xin Zhao's spear starts absorbing her magic. This
Yeah, I did catch that earlier. And petricite is a really handy little thing. It sucks if you're, a magic user fighting it. But yeah.
is a really cool detail, and that is one of the key points that was mentioned in the previous comics. Demacian steel, made out of petricite, is really good at fighting magic. After this, we get a lot of cool cinematic fighting.
For anybody who is going to play in any of my D&D games, it's only a matter of time before you guys start running across petricite in my games.
With Xin Zhao waving his spear and dancing, kinda like he does in-game. After which, LeBlanc stuns Yunara, referencing the game, and that only leaves Xin Zhao locked in a battle with Atakan. It doesn't take long, and Xin Zhao gets stabbed by Atakan. And Yunara is the one who has to save him with her last strength. And that is where we hear a key line. Once again, remember that this conversation is technically happening a few seconds in the future, but it is also relating to what is happening here, where Xin Zhao mentions that there is no one left. What he's saying that there is simply no one left to stop Atakan or LeBlanc. There is no one to hold the glaive. And so he had to do the only thing that was possible: grab the glaive. Of course, when a mortal grabs a Darkin weapon,
it sucks to be the mortal.
The Darkin gains the ability to take over their body, which is why in the next scene we get inside the glaive. This is technically Zahen's world. Now here, Xin Zhao tells Zahen that be it with or without his permission, he would darken the world. And that is simply because, once corrupted, all Ascended will become the Darkin eventually. So again, Xin Zhao came here with an offer to stop it. This is of course followed by Zahen telling him that he has no idea what he's asking for. By this, he's referencing that to pick up the glaive, Xin Zhao would have to sacrifice himself.
Yeah, he knew that was gonna happen.
This line is important to Zahen because this is what he has done in the past too. He willingly locked himself away to prevent himself from harming the world. And so now Xin Zhao is asking to do the same, except permanently. And that's where the cinematic shows us Zahen's human form. Which, funnily enough, this is the fourth version of Zahen we have seen. Now, of course, all of you should know that all the Darkin used to be Ascended, and all Ascended used to be mortals.
Yeah, I was mentioning that in my reaction to the video earlier, of how like that whole transition went along.
And so, once we got into Zahen's weapon, we got to see Zahen's pure soul, which would be his original human form. If you go back to the very cinematic, you can see the same thing happening there. Once they dropped into the well, they saw that the Darkin looked like a human, because they used to be human, which also means that technically, yes, both Nasus and Renekton looked like that. They were all Shrimans, but that's where Xin Zhao admits that he can't hold him back, by which he's referencing Atakan, who picked up the glaive first. And so, Xin Zhao leaned the weapon towards Zahen to offer it to him. At which point, Zahen knew what to do. You see, without a physical body, Zahen would likely be taken over by Atakan.
Hey, yeah, I didn't even see the goop earlier. That's a good little catch.
This is likely because Atakan is a demon, and no demon has ever picked up a Darkin weapon. So far, it was only mortals, and mortals are kinda easy to dominate. Dominating a demon might be a whole different challenge. And especially in this case, Zahen didn't have a physical body to fight back.
No, here's the thing. It just occurred to me. So as he said, a demon picking up the weapon might be an entirely different thing. So the Darkin were originally made from celestial magic. So picking up a darkened weapon might be something a demon physically can't do. A thing it's impossible for him. However, Arcane is a very unique demon in the demonology of Runeterra. He is the only demon whose body is fused with that of a mortal. And hence why we see that human hand thing fairly often with Arcane. Maybe that's why no demon has ever picked it up, because the demons want their own power. They want more strength. If they could just grab a darkened weapon and not be controlled by it, why the hell wouldn't they? Maybe they can't. But Arcane, because of him being combined with a human, gives him immortal arms to be able to pick up the weapon. But then the domination doesn't affect the demon's mind, because the demon's mind is separate from the flesh itself. That's an interesting concept, I think.
He didn't have a way to destroy Atakan, which is where this beautiful moment happens. And I'll be honest, this might be one of the most cinematic moments in League's history. That is, counting certain scenes from Arcane. Which makes sense, because all of this is animated by Fortiche anyway. Now here you can see that Zahen actually looks sad. This is because, to protect the world once more, he has to destroy the soul of a worthy warrior. One that already passed the trials of Twilight. And so, Zahen does exactly that. He destroys Xinjiao's body and his soul, he annihilates Atakan, and dispels LeBlanc's clone. As to what is gonna be happening with Zahen after this, we actually have no idea. Will he leave the spirit realm? Maybe, but he can also just stay in there. But all of that is then followed by one massive plot twist. Because next we get the reveal for why LeBlanc wanted to get the weapon in the first place. Here we can see LeBlanc and Vladimir looking at the shackling helmet of Atakan crumbling, meaning that Atakan is dead. So yes, he can be potentially removed from the game, I guess. But LeBlanc is really happy about that. She is happy to see that
It is so weird to see her look so happy. Look at that little smirk.
demons can be killed. Because of course, she wants to kill Swain's demon. This is referenced by Swain's raven on the wall. And all of this.
Yeah, I was wondering what we were looking at right here. Wasn't sure. But now that it's pointed out, yeah, it does look like a raven. And Swain is the current ruler of Noxus. He does not like LeBlanc and does not play into any of LeBlanc's schemes. The demon he is bound with is the demon of secrets. No one can hold a secret against him. And all LeBlanc is secrets upon secrets. And she does not like anyone knowing her secrets.
That is the case because Swain is the one who is constantly meddling with LeBlanc's plans. He is currently her best rival. He is the one who is constantly unrooting members of the Black Rose and killing them anywhere he finds them. Of course, he doesn't know that technically LeBlanc is doing all of that to protect the world from Mordekaiser, as well as to get some power for herself. But to achieve her goals, LeBlanc actually needs to remove Swain first. And now she knows that the Darkin can do that. The Darkin do have the power to kill demons, which is why she really wanted to get a Darkin weapon. I mean, it's kinda obvious that the Darkin can do that. I mean, Aatrox literally killed a celestial god. But now, as to what is the thing on the left on the wall, I actually have no idea. It kinda looks like a tower that's falling, which could be like a Noxian tower or a Demacian tower. Maybe it's like an Ionian something. But there also does seem to be the glaive below it, so I actually have no idea. But now,
Kind of looked like a gun to me.
with all of this said, we also have to tackle Zahen's real appearance, which is the Squidward, which doesn't actually look that much like a Squidward in the cinematic. We'll see if that changes in the game. But I do appreciate how Zahen kept Xinjiao's face. Because under normal circumstances, the Darkin just obliterate the body and take over it. Here, Zahen is almost respectful to the body, and he just kept it. but he still had to destroy Xin Zhao, which technically means that is our second champion that is canonically dead, confirming that the Summoner's Rift is kinda a Super Smash Bros. And I like it that way. But with this
I like
beautiful
that too.
ending to the story of 2025, it also does mean one thing. Pew was kinda right. 2025 did change League forever.
Oh my gosh. I mean, so yeah, the fact that one of the demons is not Arcane of all demons, dying is just, it's huge. Granted, Arcane is not a player character in the sense for like a character you can play in the game, but he is on the map. He is a thing that is just an obnoxious problem on the map. But mortals have been proven to be pretty much incapable of killing any of the demons, especially the greater demons that roam, like Fiddlesticks and stuff. Which, boy, we need to get rid of Fiddlesticks. And I'm not even sure that Fiddlesticks is a single demon. I think Fiddlesticks is a series of demons that is making its way across Runeterra. But right now, I know that Fiddlesticks canonically is in Demacia. Good. Screw with Demacia, buddy. But like Evelyn and these other demons have been impossible to kill. But if he could start knocking these things off, that is terrifying. And I can 100% see. I can 100% see why LeBlanc would want to kill him, because Necrit is right. She does not like Swain, because Swain is constantly stopping what she's trying to do, because he also doesn't realize what she's trying to do. Because she stays the hell away from him. The only two people that are truly in all of the Black Rose that knows what's really going on is her and Vladimir, and those two don't get near Swain, because if they do, Swain can see into them and see all their secrets, which they both don't want. So yeah, I mean, there was some big stuff in that one. Big stuff. With that being said, that's where we're going to end this video. This video is almost 40 minutes long, minus editing, because there was a few minutes of yabber in there. Anyway, we're going to end this video here. I will see you lovely foxes next time.